Good morning, Kristen. How are you? Nicole, good morning. Juan, welcome in from El Paso. Thanks for joining this morning. Alan, how's it going, buddy? We're up on the overlook here. Let's take a little walk over to the corner here, show you guys down and up and down the strip. Madison, what's going on? See Mandalay, New York, New York. A little bit of Excalibur. Big giant pole. Aria, Veer Towers, Cosmo, Bellagio. Looking up this strip here, we see the Eiffel Tower. See the old Mirage building up there. So where do you guys want to go this morning? And is the chat overlay still on the screen there? I changed another setting. I don't know if I can... You cannot see the chat on the screen. Okay, so I can see the chat on the screen, so maybe I figured it out finally. Oh, good now. Okay. I know a lot of it was like very, very almost complicated. It was like a hidden feature to change that. So where do you guys want to walk this morning? I figure I'll be on till about 10 or 10:30 is what I'm guessing today. It's at about 8:30 now. $8:44 right now. Italy, you know, Juan, you must have been reading my mind. I was thinking about stopping there and grabbing a coffee. These are some long escalators. Have you guys ever checked out Brewdog? Over the summer, I'm not sure if they're running it now still, but over the summer they had all-you-can-eat wings on Wednesday nights for 20 bucks. And the plates, the first plate they brought out had like 8 or 9 wings on it, and they were a good-sized wing. So, good morning, Grammy. How are you? So that's up on the rooftop right there, Brewdog. That used to have the best view, but now the sign that we were just standing next to kind of blocks a little bit of the view. Kristen, add that to your ever-growing list. Walgreens, great spot if you need some water, some beverages, some snacks. Going to save you some money going into Walgreens. This way you're not going on the internet complaining about a $26 bottle of water when you can go in Walgreens and get a bottle of water for $3 or so. Regular, you know, kind of convenience store. Murakami, good morning. Look at that. I think I figured out how to keep the chat off the screen for you guys. Joanne, I know, right? It's It's like that person that was in the other stream earlier with their $80 eggs, which I find hard to believe, but okay. Like you sat down and ordered eggs and didn't know the price, but now you're going to complain about it? Kristen, I'm a little bit of a creature of habit too. I like what I like, but I also like to try new things and find new things to like. I've never done flyover, but the videos I've seen, it seems pretty cool. I've done something similar at Area 15 once. Now this is a question a lot of people ask: is the Hard Rock going to stay open, the Hard Rock Cafe, once they open up the big Hard Rock? And I'm not exactly sure how that licensing goes, if they are two separate entities or not. I could probably look on Google and find out, but there's so many things that people ask and I try to get the answers to. Sometimes I forget. That's the original Hard Rock guitar that was outside the Hard Rock Casino when it was at where the Virgin is now. That was the original Hard Rock site out here. And I don't know if you guys have ever stayed at the original Hard Rock, but that was me and Jay's favorite. I loved it in there. They had such great memorabilia, you know, walking around the casino floor, and there was, you know, this guy's outfit from this tour. Oh, we got some broken escalators over here. So we're doing pretty well with the YouTube. We're trying to monetize over here. So we just need the watch hours. That's why I've been jumping on the lives, and I'm working on some long form content. Oh, you can earn points there. Nice. So we're gonna go into Park MGM. Park MGM does have a nice aroma to it, a nice scent, and we will be doing a live stream from the Aroma retail store this afternoon. We're gonna get there and set up, and once we're set up around a little after 4, we will be going live. We'll be at the Smelly Bar is what they call it in the Aroma retail, answering questions, showing you guys all the different scents they have. It is a paid partnership. We are affiliates. We have a discount code, promo code, and we will be receiving a commission if you have qualifying purchases at no extra cost to you. But it is definitely something you should check out this afternoon. Yeah, this is a beautiful place. Now, some of the stuff is expensive in here. I will 100% agree with you. But I am a definitely quality person, and all the food in here is super high quality. The lunch meats and the sandwiches are super, super good. And I am kind of a lunch meat, hoagies and sandwiches kind of guy coming from Philly. We have some of the best sandwiches in the country in Philly. But all right, so let's do this here. Hello, good morning. Can I just get a large black drip coffee?
No cream in there?
No cream.
All right, so it'll be $5.69. I'll be right back with that, okay?
All right, great. The cannolis here are so good too. But my favorite dessert in here is the over at that counter. They have the tiramisu, which is absolutely delicious. No, I don't need one. Thank you. They have great pastries, desserts over there. They also have a class here that you can take to make the tiramisu that they have. Jay got that for me for Christmas last year. Yes, a hoagie, not a sub. A good sub. Well, good sub, that's a different conversation for another day, I think, right? But yes, these sandwiches over here are absolutely amazing. They're a little bit pricey. They're about 18 bucks, but I mean, you get a good deal of meat and bread. This is the best one, the sopa side. So good, so good. I'm gonna have to stop back here and get one. Not now. Way too early for something like that. Yeah. I mean, look at this. All the hanging meats. Great pizza over here too. Again, a little bit on the pricey side, but all the ingredients. I mean, look at this. This is all imported Italian meats. It's hard to find a better quality of food than you're gonna find in Italy, and the prices when compared to some of the crap that you can buy, like a Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that, I'd much rather come here and buy my food. They got fresh pasta. Look at this. Turkey sandwich for breakfast isn't bad. Now, I have not tried over here the meatballs or the burgers. Definitely something I would try a nice like a nice meatball sandwich. See, with the burger, oh geez, $32 for a burger. Forget that. Definitely not getting a burger from there. But this is a really cool. The Italy bar is really cool. Chill out area. A lot of times me and Jay will come here and just do some work here. We'll do some editing. Juan, you've had that burger for 29 bucks or 32 bucks. 100% recommended. All right, maybe I will give it a try one of these days. I just see the price sometimes and I get nervous. Like, man, if I don't like this burger and I paid $32 for it, I'm going to be really, really pissed off. Now, they have some good bar food here. They got some pizza, all that good stuff. A bunch of different types of pizza. Like $22 is the cheap one, all the way up to $32. They do have some happy hours and wine tastings in here. Yeah, let me know how that Italy is, Murakami. Now, I don't feel bad showing you guys Hello Kitty because it's an hour or so before they open, and I hate walking past Hello Kitty when I'm drinking another coffee because I always think, man, I could have waited and got a Hello Kitty. But there's a pedestrian walkway right outside the side here by Dolby. That's Dolby Live. That is where the concerts and stuff are held. There is a walkway to get over to New York, so you don't have to walk back to the Strip. Just have to be very, very careful when you're walking here because cars will sometimes not stop. I think you guys were on a live stream one time where I had to help a couple elderly women across the street here because none of the cars were stopping for them. It was after like a game or something. So I just walked out in the middle of the street and stopped the traffic to let these 3 older women cross the street. It was like, dude, come on. Like, you can't wait like another like minute for this lady to cross the street. That could be your grandmom or something, you know? But there's our NeonCityWalker famous Hello Kitty Cafe. It's closed right now. I don't know if we'll be stopping there later or not. We'll see how it goes. I gotta watch my coffee spending. So where do you guys want to walk? You guys want to walk down towards, I don't know, you just want to walk down towards like the sign or something? I don't know, we haven't done that for a while. Stitch me up, welcome in. I'm glad you enjoyed the morning walks. I love being out in the morning and walking around. Not too crowded. Gives people a view of Vegas that a lot of people don't see if you're here on vacation. If you're here on a convention, yeah, maybe you probably do see Vegas early in the morning on your way to your conference or whatever. Fashion Show Mall, Sector 4. We got a man with a camera and a gimbal. All hands, all hands. In all your visits, you've never done the sign. You know, it took me a few visits to come to finally get down to the sign. Yeah, that was pretty funny yesterday outside Fashion Show. I forgot to go on their website last night and pull up their policies. So here's what I was talking about, right? So right now we are on New York property. So if New York security came over and said, hey, you got to stop streaming or whatever, they are well within their rights, you know, to say that because you're on private property. But once you cross, I believe it's this line of brick right here where the red turns to gray, and you see how you have this line of brick running separate. Now we're on city property. So we could stand here and New York couldn't tell us to stop. They could call Metro or whatever, and then we would have that conversation. But for the most part, walking out here, you're on city property. Now, on the other stream, we were talking about Tom's Watch Bar, having good breakfast. We'll have to check that out one morning, I think. Maybe have Jay come out with us and I'd do a breakfast date, me and Jay. That would be fun. Got the Brooklyn Bridge right here. Brooklyn Bridge is nice. They have live bands out here. We're gonna pull over up here in a second so I can take my my jacket off. I had a jacket on this morning because when I left it was 53 degrees. So, Kristen, you've never done the sign either. Okay, so let's walk you guys down on the sign, show you. It's really not that bad of a walk. Not a whole lot to see once we get past Mandalay, but the sign is pretty close, not too far after Mandalay. So I do love New York because they have all these nice little areas to just kind of sit down and chill. So we're gonna pull over here and take the jacket off. Nine Fine Irishmen. It's nice to see that that's open again. They were doing patio work in the beginning of the summer. So there's the Brooklyn Bridge. You can see the stage back there. They do live music, like I was saying. There's the Swatch Watch store right there. I think getting a taxi or a ride share back from there is a little bit tougher than getting one to there. Okay, we're going to turn this around because now you're going to see some people walking down towards, I guess, Mandalay. We'll probably see some people walking to Mandalay, to the convention center at Mandalay, doing their conventions there. Kevin's coming January 6th. Staying at New York. A lot of people really like New York. All right, let's walk. So let's continue the conversation. What should we call our community here? We were talking about that on TikTok. Like, you know, I don't really like the whole NeonCityWalker fam type thing. I kind of like the high rollers or the high walkers or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. You guys all kind of figure it out, and then I think we should get 5 names together and do like a poll. Neon City Chatters, I like the chatters, are cool. You know, I really like the interactions that we have. I watch a lot of live streams, and a lot of times people just walk around and they don't really talk to their chats, and their chats don't really communicate. Yeah, I think I had a couple written down. So we got another escalator down here. Now give me 1 second, because I think I do have to change one setting here. There we go. That should be good now. I just wanted to change one setting real quick. Since now I'm hooked on craps. The brick throwers. Yeah, that's what I felt like I was throwing the other night. You know, what I think a lot of people do is they do their walks and they do them live, and then they just kind of edit and put it on with some background music and just do a walk, right? And they're using the live to get the view hours and things like that. You know, but a lot of people, and I do enjoy watching like some of these walkthroughs, you know, through the casinos or different places where there is no talking. That is pretty fun to watch sometimes. But you know, while I'm walking, I really enjoy like the back and forth that we guys have. Higgins Beach Bomb, there we go. Nice. Thanks for joining us over here. It's so hard sometimes. Some people have the same names or similar, and it's easy to tell. And then you're like, have no idea, but they know about us, so it's got to be somebody from TikTok. So go with Excalibur. We got 2 working escalators here. Maybe we'll count them on the way back, which ones are working and which ones aren't. Excalibur, still a decent place to stay if you're looking for like a good budget. Maybe you have some kids traveling with you. How's the weather? So right now it's around 61, 62 degrees. When we started this morning, it was 53 when I left my house. About 55 when we got up to the strip and started streaming. Beautiful weather out here right now. It's chilly at night, a little chilly at night, not terribly chilly, but overnight, early mornings, definitely a little bit colder. Well, especially for us who live out here and aren't used to the cold weather. Oh, we got 63. Good thing I took my little jacket off. I hate that feeling where you get all like sweaty and stuff. There we go, cleaning the escalators. So it's probably similar weather to what you have up in Spokane, right? Where are you going to be staying, Micah? That's why Vegas looks so nice and clean out here for the most part. They have people that clean all the time. Mid-50s, South Texas today. Yeah, I do enjoy this weather. You know, because it's not too hot, not too cold. It's very comfortable weather. I just don't like cold wind, you know, when it's not cold enough for snow, but it's cold enough to be like that freezing rain. Ugh. The Orleans, nice. Orleans has some pretty good restaurants in there, believe it or not. There's a a spot that my son and his friends go to all the time for ramen back in the back area. And they got some pretty good odds on their tables too. And make sure that you guys are subscribed to this channel if you're new here. Introduce yourself. There's a lot of our friends came over and are on here from our TikTok, and we have a great community over there. Hope to replicate it over here on YouTube. A lot of good chats, questions, answers, a lot of knowledgeable people. I try to answer everything that comes across the chat if I can. Very few rules. We don't like to talk about religion, don't like to talk about politics, and we like to like form a community where we have our inside jokes, we have our, you know, things that we normally talk about. Yeah, Josh, I was finally after watching about 3 videos last night, I found this setting that was almost like it was hidden, and I was able to get the chat off. So much better without the chat on the screen for you guys. Now I see the chat on my screen. Here we go. We got 2 trams rolling out. These are the trams that run from this building right here. That's the tram station to Mandalay. There's a local and an express. The local tram stops at Luxor. The express tram takes you all the way down to Mandalay. I think the express tram takes about 2 minutes to get from property to property, and the local tram takes about 3 or 4 minutes. Thank you, Murakami. Appreciate you. Everyone say good morning, Murakami. Yeah, I wish there was more trams too. What would be cool is if they connected the Hard Rock and the Treasure Island again, like the Mirage and Treasure Island was, if they put that tram back in. I doubt it though. I don't see competing properties connecting each other. Madison, are you saying it with the S or without the S? Because, you know, you can really make some people from Illinois mad if you say Illinois. I would love if they did that tram again. That was a great little, you know, quickened your walk up the strip by a little bit, you know. Now, not only is a tram connect all 3 of these properties, the Luxor, Mandalay, and Excalibur here, but there's a walkway that connects all 3 also. Yeah, right? Well, I appreciate that, Alan. Now, the walkway is pretty nice. You can see the walkway back there that connects Excalibur and Luxor. That's another good way to beat the heat. A lot of people take that. I'm surprised that we're actually seeing... Apparently it's not Illinois. I was messing with our friend Teddy the other day when he was out here. And he lives in the Chicago area. And I was like... So does it make you mad when people say Illinois? And he was like, yes, there's no S. Just forget that the S even exists in that word. Yeah, they took the people movers out, except for that little rampway that connects Excalibur and at the very end, Excalibur and Luxor. They still have a little bit of like 1 or 2 people movers there. Now this is one of my favorite areas on the Strip. I love the Luxor was like my first time coming to Vegas and seeing the pyramid. Was like, I was like, oh my God, I gotta live here. Yeah, ketchup on hot dogs, yes. I have noticed that they'll put everything else on a hot dog except ketchup in Chicago, it seems like. It's like there's no like peppers, onions, sauerkraut, whatever, definitely no ketchup. But that's kind of how I feel about mayonnaise on a cheesesteak. Do not put mayonnaise on a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Or an Italian hoagie. Italian hoagies have oil and vinegar. Oh, Kristen's trying to get herself in a fight here. Yeah, I've heard that too, Marikami. Deep dish pizza in Chicago is like a tourist thing. That real Chicago pizza is that tavern pizza. I think someone told me. It's like a thin, like almost cracker-like crust. Am I right on that? HyperX, you see the ad up there, the center of esports entertainment. That is an awesome spot if you're in Vegas. And you got some teams that like the game. You can take them into the Luxor and they have an e-gaming arena. It is esports. It is super cool. They have tournaments and everything. My kids have done a few of them. But this is one of my favorite spots. All the statues and everything outside the Luxor. Yes, tavern style pizza. So I'm almost like a world traveler. Alan, you're from Chicago originally? We're Chicago area? Like all the old Egyptian statues and stuff that are out here. Where was Bugsy Siegel from? Was he a Chicago mobster? I forget. Or was he a New York mobster? Because we can say, if he was from Chicago, we can say he was, the Flamingo is a Chicago themed. Yeah, Vegas and Chicago had some real strong ties. Them mobsters back then. They knew how to get all our money as tourists and make us feel happy about it. Not like these new gangsters we got out here. But this is super cool. So when the Tropicana got imploded, my youngest son, sat right here on this corner goat thing and watched the whole night. He sat there. We had a great view of the Tropicana coming down. That was a really kind of bittersweet. That was a bittersweet type of night, for sure. Goat thingy. Well, there's this the Sphinx, right? So that is actually bigger than the real Sphinx in Egypt. Now, on our way to Phoenix, we drive past a restaurant that is like a Chicago restaurant. I really want to stop there one time and check it out. It really gives off like old school mobster vibes, this restaurant. It's like, you know, there's like 2 cars parked in the parking lot, and I think they're the same 2 cars every time. You know, it's kind of like yeah, let's just open up a restaurant, a Chicago style restaurant in the middle of the desert. Nobody will be suspicious. Tropicana had it. Yeah, they did have a kind of interesting scent in there. Now, Treasure Island has an interesting scent also now. Their original scent was like this tropical breeze. Man, it smelled so good. Layla, what's going on? And now the scent in Treasure Island is kind of like the bay at low tide, if you know what I mean. They try to cover it up. It may be Chicago, Joe's, Murakami. I'll have to look. I know where it's at on the map. I'll Google map it one time. Mildew is what TI smells like. TI sometimes smells like they're using dirty cleaning rags, to be honest. Like sometimes it smells pretty decent in there, and then other times we walk in and it's like, oh, it smells like somebody left the mop water in the mop for like a month. But other than that, I mean, I really do like Treasure Island. I mean, it's one of our originals when we first started coming out here. Yeah, I mean, you know, people got really upset about Tropicana, you know, being imploded and all that stuff. And, you know, everyone talked about how much they loved the Tropicana, except that the Tropicana was always empty. People really didn't go there, so it wasn't making money. You know, what are they to do? You know, like say, you know what, we'll just, because people are nostalgic, we'll keep this place open. No, they were like, you know what, we could tear it down and build a baseball stadium. Sounds good to me. Or whatever they want to do, you know? I mean, the renderings of the complex there with the baseball stadium and the hotel towers and the shopping district look really amazing. But, you know, and hopefully it all works out, because I'll be super excited to go watch some baseball games there, that's for sure. I know Jay loves baseball, so she'll probably be down there. I would love to be able to get like maybe 2 or 3 season tickets, so, you know, and be able to just go to any game we wanted. That would be cool. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Higgins. I'll probably switch back and forth between Higgins and Patrick. Yeah, Vegas needs to constantly be changing, you know, the shows, the hotels, and like all that stuff needs to constantly change, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, it's like, or people would come like maybe once every couple years and be like, oh yeah, let's go back to Vegas. But because it's constantly changing, I think people come back more frequently than most. Ooh, spring training would be cool out in Vegas. That would be cool. Now I got to remember to cross at the next light, because if you're walking to the sign, when you get past Mandalay, there's a McDonald's and stuff across the street. You want to cross at that light, because the light at Russell takes forever to cross if you're on this side of Las Vegas Boulevard. And Mandalay actually has a really cool entranceway. Let's take a walk through there also. A lot of people have never seen this this area either. They're out delivering the traffic cones. I wonder where they're going to shut down today and not do anything. Now, if you wanted to walk to Allegiant, you would just walk right up here and over the highway. That'll get you to Allegiant.
Yeah, it's funny. I still get the impression.
During game days, Raiders, big events, they shut down that road to ease the pedestrian traffic.
Comments that I've made, it's like one man on a particular. Are there any updates on like accounts you guys have? That was one of the things that this part.
Your husband plays in, is he a road, does he do like road construction? I never enjoyed doing road construction. I did it like a couple times and I was like, yeah, not for me. So if you walk in through here, so this is called the Enchanted Garden. This is in Mandalay. This is how you walk up to the lobby area in Mandalay. We'll walk through this really nice arched building here. Mandalay, your arch nemesis. So this used to have water features. MGM has taken the majority of their water features out to conserve water. They're part of this worldwide conservation program. I'm trying to do a little video to explain what that is. There's a lot of research though. So they made this all like a desert scape now. It's still beautiful to walk through. It's a nice reflection of the gold, the sun off the gold windows. Now here's a little Neon City Walker nugget for you guys. These hotels like Mandalay, Trump Towers, Mirage that have the gold windows, there's actual flecks of gold in those windows. And that helps with reflecting the heat from the windows. So it makes the rooms a little cooler. It's a little bit more energy efficient, but makes the windows a little bit more pricey. So yeah, let's smash that like button, guys. If you're one of the 31 that are watching and haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to our channel. We are trying to get our numbers up. Trying to monetize over here, to be honest with you guys, so that we will be able to bring you a lot more great Vegas content from our perspective. Kevin, it is a great property. It smells great in there. It has a lot of great restaurants. There's a coffee spot in the lobby, right off the lobby. It's coffee and cocktails. It's a really cool spot that kind of hang out. There's some hidden statues of some elephants up there that is really cool too. That's probably just an older ACs. They need to upgrade their ACs or something in there. Now, part of the problem, a lot of times, I'll be a little trade secret here. You know, they have their PM programs, and if they don't get around to the rooms right away, right before the summer, the filters in the in-room ACs get a little bit clogged up. So that's usually, if your room feels a little bit warm, just call and ask them if somebody can come up and check the AC, maybe change the filter, and that usually does the job. But you got to remember, these ACs and everything, they run basically 24/7, 365 in these places. So So yeah, so this is the little walkway. It takes you right from the strip down to an entrance to get up into the lobby. So think about it, right? You know, you got a hotel that has, you know, 4,000 rooms, and you have like freaking probably 25 maintenance guys that are trying to take care of everything. Sometimes things get skipped over, you know, and so if you're having an issue, just call down and say, hey, my AC doesn't seem like it's blowing air out cold enough. Can you have somebody check it out? And they'll come up, take care of it for you. Kevin, yeah, you'll love the pools here. Kristen, you want to tell them about the pools here? And it's nice and cool back here. Like if you take a little walk back here in the summertime, because of all the shade, it drops probably 20, 25 degrees back here. All right, let's continue back towards the sign. Let's walk. They have the wave pool too here, don't they? Or the surf pool, whatever it is. And I think they have a top-optional pool too, right? Top optional pool for the more adult stuff. Or they used to. I wonder what these creatures are called. I'm gonna have to look in to find out what these creatures are called. Look at this line of traffic. Sheesh. Guess if you were joining in right now, you'd be like, where's this person at? That's not Vegas. Right? You'd probably be thinking we're on like some kind of tropical island or something. But no, we're just outside of Mandalay. Walking to the sign. They got the Deuce bus stop right there. You guys have probably driven past this a million times if you've driven down the strip this way and not noticed all the little details they have here. I mean, I kind of feel like Mandalay gives off some Mirage vibes because they both had sort of like that tropical-y type of feel to it. I remember when this first opened up and it was like so nice. It was like, you know, of course brand new. You're thinking, man, this place, how are they going to top this place? And then they open up, you know, somewhere else and you're like, all right, well, how are they going to top this place? Now, unfortunately, the last two hotels that have opened up, the Resorts World and Fontainebleau, they're great properties, super nice inside, but they're so far down the strip. They're down the end of the strip that a lot of people don't go to anymore. You know, I think when they were originally in their planning stages, you know, there was more to do down that end of the strip, and people were still going to that end of the strip, to the Rivieras and all that stuff, you know, and they just thought that there would continue to be a carryover of that. But then you had Aria and Cosmo open up, and you know, the center strip became the place to be. It is getting warm today. Look at this traffic. People are jumping out of their ride shares like, I gotta get to my conference. This lady's running. She must be a keynote speaker. Yeah, definitely the location is a little bit of a con, but with having the walkways and the tram, you know, if you catch the tram, you know, you're literally like 3 minutes from New York, which, you know, you can get up. We should time that. That would be cool. Let's do a Neon City Walker challenge. Maybe we'll do it today on the way back. We'll catch the tram and see how fast we can get to Bellagio from Mandalay Bay. How's that sound? I think that sounds like a pretty cool thing to do. We'll hit the sign, we'll come back to Mandalay, we'll jump on the tram. When we get to the tram station, I'll put the timer on my watch and we'll see how long until we can get to the Bellagio Conservatory. Oh man, they got traffic up here. They got traffic cops blocking the traffic. Yeah, I think eventually this area down here will get some stuff. I mean, there was a little boutique hotel planned for across the street, but apparently they didn't have the proper permits, so that got shut down. So all right, let's hurry up and walk so we can get across the street. We got 40 seconds. I can make it, I think, if he'll let me cross. Here we go. "19 seconds we got to get across. As long as these cars turning don't run us over, we'll be fine. There we go. So we got a McDonald's over here. You can grab yourself some cheap coffee in the morning if you feel like walking across. But if you continue down that side, the next light, Russell, it takes forever for that light to change to get over to the sign. So here we go. There, you know, I could probably even clip that out and make that into a whole nother video. How long it takes to get from Mandalay to Bellagio. Now, I'm convinced that it's faster to go and walk from Park MGM or Aria to the Bellagio than it is to take the tram. Because if you miss the tram, you're standing there for 8 minutes. And then the tram ride's about 4 minutes. So that's about 12 minutes. I think I could walk probably faster to get there. Yeah, that is nice, staying mid-strip, and you know, we talk about that with people all the time. You know, if the location really matters and you want to be mid-strip, then definitely stay mid-strip. You know, otherwise you're relying on things like the monorails or the trams or the deuce or ride shares, walking, and all that, you know, it cuts into your time. So you know, some people want to be right in the center of it all. So find an affordable hotel for yourself that fits your budget and stay there. There's a lot of nice, you know, more budget-friendly hotels. Center Strip, Horseshoe, you know, Flamingo, The Link. I'm really not a big fan of Harrah's. Oh, nice. You used the one to get from Mandalay to Park MGM. That is cool. That is cool. Now, one of our friends over at TikTok, he asked me, he brought his kid out to see Wizard of Oz, and asked me to write him the directions on how to get from their hotel to the Sphere, what was the best way to walk. So I wrote him down the directions and emailed them to him so that he had, like, you know, nice quick way to get there with some suggestions where to stop on the way to or from, you know, where they were staying. Tiffany, good morning. How are you? Thanks for coming over. We are walking to the Las Vegas sign. So this is going to be, we have a busy day today. Jeez. I'm going to do these 2 live streams, go home, charge everything up, and then we have to go to that Aroma Retail and do our live stream there today, which is going to be super fun. Yeah, you know, I don't like waiting around for taxis and ride shares myself. Now, when me and Jay used to come out here years ago, we would walk everywhere and then maybe get a taxi back at the end of the night. Yes, it is definitely warming up. It is starting to get into the mid-60s right now. So at the end of the night, we would like grab a taxi. There wasn't ride shares back then. This looks like a laydown yard for some construction stuff here. This is a nice place to get married. Me and Jay, we haven't renewed our vows here, but this is a nice spot. Yes, it's going to be a nice event later. You know, I hope people join in and ask the questions and things like that. You know, Little Church of the West Wedding Chapel here. Some nice grounds here to get married outside and stuff. Never riding the Deuce anymore, okay? The Deuce ain't so bad. My son takes the Deuce sometimes. We'll drop him off at Fashion Show, and he works down south of the Strip. So if we're pressed for time and can't drive him all the way to work, we'll drop him off and he'll take the Deuce. But he says the same thing. If he's taking the Deuce back from work and meeting us on the Strip, he'll take an Uber. But the Deuce is a good option. You know, it's cheap. There's the Pinball Hall of Fame. Our friend Spin, he did a nice live from in there. That's a fun spot. I think it's about, I forget, it's like, is it like about 50 cents or something a game? My son and mother-in-law just recently went there. They had a blast. There's a lot of really cool, old school pinball machines in there. Definitely worth a trip if you have kids or you're like an old pinball fan. Maybe we'll come down and copy spin and do a live stream in there one day. Yeah, definitely can't miss this sign. This is a really cool sign too. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. That's about as much as I can zoom out. So the Pinball Hall of Fame. That is a really cool sign. King Kong Pinball. Like now, right next to this, you see the tower crane. That is where they were going to build like a little small boutique, higher end hotel there. But I don't think they had the correct permits from what I remember. So they shut that job site down, and now it's just kind of sitting there. So we're only a couple minutes from the sign, not too far. Walk in the shade. I almost feel like they should have the Pinball Wizard song on loop in there. That should be the only song they play. But that would probably get annoying after a while, right? And it's so funny because kids nowadays, with all their fancy, you know, PS5 or whatever it is, Xbox 5 or whatever it is, you know, they have all these like super cool games. But you throw these kids in front of a pinball machine and they love it. It's like the fire department's doing some training over there. And here we got the Harley. Remember there used to be a Harley store or a Harley restaurant right outside of well, Bally's. That was always that was a cool. Those games back in the 1900s, I know, right? It's funny because, like, you know, you can buy those retro controller games, you know, where you get all the original Nintendos and, you know, Sega, Genesis and all that stuff. Like, my kids love them. Like, we bought them for Christmas one year. They absolutely loved it. They were like, man, these games are so cool because they're so basic. I mean, it's easy for them to beat them because they're always used to these complex, like X, Y, triangle, you know, R1, R2 to move. Where back when we were growing up, it was like the AB button. Yeah, because of F1, the hotel prices in Vegas are like dynamic, right? So if there's a demand for hotel rooms, the prices go up because F1 is going to have people, you know, a lot more visitors coming in. The prices will go up a little bit. Same thing with conventions. When SEMA and CES are in town, prices go up dramatically. You know, and then when it's kind of slow, they're trying to bring people here, so they lower the prices. Yeah, I remember walking uphill both ways in the snow, barefooted. Now we're right across from the airport too, and some of the planes, I'll see if there's any of the planes that are out here. If you ever see a white plane with a red stripe right down the center of it, that's an Area 51 plane. That's the planes that the employees that work up in Area 51 at the testing site, that's the planes that they take to and from work. I think they call them Janet planes. Just another empty air terminal or something like that. Not these ones, they're private. I saw one yesterday. Are comments filtered over here? I'm not so sure. Pretty damn loud. You can smell the jet fuel. Yeah, it will be a little bit more pricey. Definitely, Kevin. So there we have it. Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas. Now, you see this big giant line? If you're here with somebody and you don't have to stand directly under the sign, just come off onto the side. Like this lady over here getting pictures done. You don't have to wait in line, and you don't have to pay anybody to take your picture. There's a lot of people that try to do that. You don't need somebody to take your picture. Just come off over onto the side, and I think me and Jay did a video on that. Or you can go around the back of the sign, get the back of the sign. Now, you know what's really cool is the light bulbs. When they replace the light bulbs, they put the date that they replaced the light bulb, and you can buy the light bulbs from the signs when they change them out, which is pretty cool. The cardboard cutouts, I know, what is that? Yeah, cheap airfare. I remember back in the day when airfare and hotels were so cheap and you had the packages, right? So here's the put in 1959. Oh, what's up, buddy? No, it's not as, it's definitely a little bit more freeform than TikTok over here. You can take your selfies. Like I said, you can walk right down here like these people are doing, take your pictures. A lot of times at night they have people that try to say like you have to like pay them to take pictures or something like that. So I just want to show you the back of the sign. These people are probably like, this dude's going to be in my picture. I'm going to stay off to the side. No problem, Jennifer. I love walking down to the sign, actually. So it says, drive carefully, come back soon. So what a lot of people do is they take, when they get here, you take a picture from the front, right? And you post that on social media, and then have a different t-shirt with you. Take a picture from the back of the sign, and when you're leaving Vegas, post that picture on social media. There we go. So now when people ask us where's everyone at, we'll say, well, we were down at the sign earlier and there was a lot of people down there. Oh, it's almost 10 o'clock already. Jeez. That went pretty quick. That's pretty cool. There we go. There's the cutouts, guys. Is that family members?
Yeah, that's possible.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
That was meant to come on the trip.
Oh.
Trip.
Oh, that's their nice little memorial picture. Nice. That's really sweet. You too. So we just got some. So those people that was family members that passed away, they were supposed to be on the trip with them. So they had those cardboards cutouts made, so they could get the picture as like kind of like they're here with them. That's awesome that they did that. That's a really good idea. So now they're on a YouTube video too. So that's for forever in memorial of those people. All right. All right, so here we go. We got the nice walk back now, and then we're gonna do that. What did we say? Mandalay to Bellagio walk. Oh, we just hit 10,000 steps also this morning. Nice. Yeah, that is pretty sweet that they did that. Very thoughtful. Now the cool thing about the Vegas sign, you know, that does have a trademark or copyright, and by IceCo, and as long as it's a tasteful and not like offensive, they do not mind other people using their image, so which is pretty cool. There's that tower crane. I was telling you that is part of that little hotel that was supposed to go up there. I forget what it was called. Dream Hotel and Casino. We can see it over here on the... Maybe they ran out of financing. Usually they don't give these permits and stuff out. So that was going to be the Dream Hotel and Casino that was right there. This is what they do if it's for dust control matters, things like that. If this site was kicking up a lot of dust, you can call those numbers, give them that permit control number, and they'll come out and inspect it. You know, because it's so dry out here, they, you know, when they're doing construction, a lot of times they spray it down with water to keep the dust down, right? That's so that you don't get air pollution. You know, dust is considered a form of air pollution, and also for workers' health and safety, because there's a lot of silica and stuff in that, and concrete or rock dust. So, you know, you want to protect your workers from breathing that stuff in. Oh, nice. You went to, so what's your favorite pinball machine in there? There's a pinball machine. It's a magician pinball machine. I got to see if they have it in there, because I am really good at that one. So I would love to be in there. I could play that seriously. On one quarter, I could probably play that for about 15-20 minutes. It is absolutely amazing. This morning it was 53 when I left my house. Right now it is approaching the mid 60s. So South Parker Addams Family, nice. You like the Family Guy pinball machines? Nice. I know a lot of people like the Star Trek one that they have in there. There's a lot of really fun pinball machines. Some have too much going on, I think, sometimes. You know, I remember at the store by my house growing up, they had a baseball one, and it had a little ramp that would pop up for you to try to hit a home run. But I think there was like a little magnet to the side of the ramp, because every time you'd be going straight for that ramp, right at the last second, the ball would just spin off to the left. And it was like, dang. You know, it was very, very rare that you actually were able to hit the ramp and get a home run. Ooh, Kiss. The Kiss pool. You know, when I was watching Spin that night, there was a lot of really cool games in there. Cool. Thank you. You know, it's almost like they prepped us as kids with pinball machines and things like that and video games for these new slot machines they have. Yeah, I was thinking to myself today, I was like, you know, I'm just going to stream until about 10 and go home and get ready for the Aroma retail thing. Whoops. You know what would be really cool if they combined a slot machine and a pinball machine together. You know, not like that pinball slot machine, but like an actual pinball machine where you got 3 balls and you got to play it and rack up points. That would be super cool. We should try to figure out how to build one of them, Murakami. That's a good idea. We'll put together some plans and send them in for like a patent. Yeah, it seems like the time is flying today. Now, you know, Jay went to Caesars yesterday and went to the pool in the afternoon. Her and my son, and they were laying there. She like closed her eyes to just like, you know, rest a little bit. Next thing she knew, like an hour went by. It was 3:45 and they're like, or 4:45, and they're telling people, all right, time to go. So she like lost like a little over an hour. The NeonCityWalkers pinball game, yes, that would be awesome. And we could that would be cool, you know, have like little feet that pop up at the, you know, as a bonus, so that the ball can't go down the hole there at the end. You know, that would be like how the ball saver. That would be pretty cool. The flippers as eagle wings. Yeah, that would be cool. Incorporate everything, some Vegas, some Philly. Definitely a coffee element. Definitely would need that. Mark, what's going on, buddy? How are you? All right, so we'll cross this way first. Waiting. See, do we got it? Still waiting. Should have went the other way. So this is where everybody is going today that we don't see on the strip. This is where they are. They are at Mandalay coming down. So now we got the crosswalk. The nice traffic cops telling us we can go, which is cool. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna walk into Mandalay, hop the tram, and to Bellagio. See how long it takes. Now this whole line of cars right here is all rideshare and looks like taxis turning into the convention center right there at Mandalay. I wonder what convention they got going on today. It is. I remember a couple weeks ago when we were going and coming down here, and the Cisco convention was here, and there was like a 18 or 20,000 person convention that day, and we basically walked from Mandalay to Excalibur past all the people going to the convention. Oh, we hit 70 now. Oof. All right, guys, let's start smashing that like button. Listen to Murakami. Murakami knows best. $16,000 in attendance at the trade show at Mandalay today. Thank you, Grammy. When you look up the conventions and things that are in town, a lot of times they give you everything that, like, you know, it's like a dentist convention with like 200 attendees in like room C at MGM, and like, so there's just, it's hard to siphon through all of them and figure out what's the big ones and what's not. Hard to remember them all too. Yeah, 16K is a lot. I remember a couple months ago they had like a 50,000 person in attendance up at the Sands Expo, Venetian Expo. We were walking past as they let out, and it was crazy the amount of people walking right outside the Venetian around Sands Ave. Yeah, they give you the full event schedule on the convention sites, and it's like, all right, I don't need to know about that 20 person, you know, little sit down meeting that's rented out, but it's appreciated, and it's a good way to track the numbers. If you really wanted to look, you know, you could go through and add up all the numbers for each day and be like, wow, there's scheduled to be 250,000 people convention wide through the city, you know. That's pretty cool. So we're walking through the Enchanted Garden again here. We took a walk through here earlier. So we're gonna walk up to the tram, time ourselves to Bellagio. I believe so, Murakami. I believe so. I think they have the second largest amount of convention space. MGM is up there also with convention space, and obviously Mandalay. Whereas Mandalay the second largest, because Mandalay is a huge convention area. I'm thinking Mandalay might be second. I don't know. We'll have to Google that and figure that out. I wonder if you add the Michelob Arena to convention floor space, because you could technically have a convention in there, if that would make Mandalay. Yeah, let's start the timer from the lobby. When we get up to the lobby, we'll start the timer. Smells so good in here. I'll have to let you guys know what the scent is when we get to Aroma Retail later today. The escalator is blocked off. Oh look, there's a Rosie. Sir Dust a Lot. This one has a name. That's Sir Dust a Lot. Venetian, largest. Wow. Mandalay just looks so much larger. Maybe it's spaced out different. I don't know. But there used to be water features in here also that they took out. Used to be some waterfalls right here. A little pool. Thank you, Grammy, for that information. That's why we are the best chat. Always helping each other up. So these are the elevators to get to the foundation room. They're working on some exciting changes there at the foundation room. So it is beautiful in here. It definitely is. All right, so let's figure out. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna figure out how to get my timer on. Is it this? All right, so we just set it. This is going to be our walk. Can we get that? There we go. We're going to see the timer. We are in the lobby at Mandalay, and we are going to walk over to the tram. We're going to take it up to Excalibur, and then all the way up to Bellagio, and see how long it takes you to get from Mandalay to Bellagio Conservatory. And this is the spot I was talking about earlier, by the way, Hazel. It's coffee and cocktails. There's a lot of great shopping in here too. My lobby got dust, right? There's the casino area. And what's great about this is we don't have to do a floor tour. We could walk through, we can have some machines showing over in the background, but the tram is straight up here. You see the escalators in front of us. That is where we're going to catch the tram from. Chris and I agree, Mandalay and also MGM Grand has basically everything you need too, and is another huge property. Venetian, Palazzo, definitely don't have to leave there with the Grand Canal shops. MGM with the district and the underground area. Lots of great things to do. So today we have Tram 1, Mandalay Bay to Luxor to Excalibur. Tram 2, Mandalay Excalibur Express. We're going to take whichever one comes first. Are we freezing up a little bad here? I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't follow the light. Hopefully it'll be here soon. So this is where I get to, I get a little jittery, impatient when I'm waiting for like the trams and stuff, because I always feel like I could walk there. I could be halfway there by the time this tram gets here. And I usually get so impatient that I do that, and then the tram passes me, and I'm nowhere near the end of where I wanted to go to. See, let's walk down. I know, I wish they had like arriving in 2 or 3 minutes, you know. Probably gonna have to edit out this part because of the music in the background. This is like kind of like one of the issues with the YouTube is the background music. If I'm not talking over it and it recognizes it, you have to go back in and remove the music. So just gonna try to keep talking here. So they have a lot of really cool little murals on the wall here. Advertisements for fantasy. Oh, we got one. Let's go around the other side. We can do that. Fantasy's a great 18+ show. For adults only, mature people, kids. Definitely a no-go to fantasy. Oh, waiting in a line, yes. Waiting in a line does drive me nuts too. Especially if you're waiting in the line and the person in front of you is like kind of really messing up the flow of the line. That really gets me going. All right, so we're on the tram. Let's check and see here. We are 6 minutes into this trek. Oh, the other one just came across the way. Let's see. So 6 minutes from the lobby to getting onto the tram, not too bad. We'll see how long it takes before we get off at the Excalibur station. Oh, Madison, that drives me nuts too. Is this the express? I don't know. We'll find out. I think this is the express.
The tram is accelerating. Please hold on to the handrail.
All right. And here we go. Nice view of the Luxor. we're pulling through, so yes, I think this is the Express. All right, we hit the Express one. Let's go over and look at the A's ballpark here. Yeah, a few less steps, right? A couple thousand less steps probably. Can't really see that well over towards the A's ballpark. But when we get off, we'll have a really nice view of the A's ballpark.
The tram is slowing down. Please hold on to a handrail.
How do we get a little bit crooked on here? There we go. So there's the A's ballpark right across the street there. We'll take a second here to take a look over there. And let's see. We are at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So that took about 3 minutes to get over from Mandalay to the Excalibur tram stop. And we're on our way to Bellagio, right? So I think are we going to, let's see, walk? Or are we going to take the tram, the Aria Express? The Aria Express runs every 8 minutes. So that's the problem with that is if you miss it, just miss it, you got to wait about 8 minutes for the Aria Express. And I think it takes about 12 to 15 minutes to walk over to Bellagio from the tram stop, the Aria tram. So we'll see what we do when we get there. So we're about 10 minutes into this. Now we can cut through New York, since that's going to be the fastest way, cutting through. There you go. Scan that QR code and you get yourself $1 pint or signature drink at Tom's. That was a good deal. Just saw that. Yeah, I'm going to cut through New York also. Coyote Ugly. We used to go to Coyote Ugly all the time, me and Jay, when we were a younger group. That's a fun spot. Hello. She just kind of walked into the screen. Oh, they got Annie Ann's is going to be opening soon. Guess they took out the s'mores bar. Okay. see Michelle. Good morning. How are you? Let's see. Where are we at time-wise? 13 minutes, 15 seconds. And then we're going to cut through New York, and head to Park MGM. Try to. I like this place. I have some good luck in here, actually. It's one of my friendlier casinos that I go to in here. So this is the old check-in area. I like to go this way because this is where you used to check in. Now it's the mid-time bar. That was the front desk. America has really good donuts, really good coffee. Cinnabon is open early if you're looking for early morning coffee. I think they may be 24 hours actually, Cinnabon. Upstairs is how you get to the roller coaster, and the arcade is up those steps. Yeah, the food court in here is, I love the food court in here. I mean, I really think it kind of feels like you're in Times Square when you're on the casino floor in here. And now the exit that we're going to go out is my favorite exit of all the casinos, because when you go out the exit up here, it takes you right to Hello Kitty. There's the piano bar. Times Square is doing pianos. They have a happy hour, 4 to 7 p.m. Got to check that out. But we're not on a sightseeing tour now. We are on a definite walk. So let's get there. Definitely want to get a good time in here. Greenberg and Sons, that's where I was talking about earlier. They have that breakfast burrito in there that has the pastrami, corned beef, Swiss cheese, and egg. It is so good. It's like $9.99 and it comes with a coffee. So I think that's a pretty good deal. A breakfast burrito and a coffee. Alan's paying attention. Nice. So here's the box office for Mad Apple. There's the Mad Apple Theater back there. And then we're gonna just come right out here, right past the Mad Apple photo op. And voila, Hello Kitty. But we're skipping the Hello Kitty this morning. If you stop there on your way up to the Bellagio, add with no line about 5 minutes. If there's a line, who knows? 5 to 10 minutes. They're really, really quick there. That is how you get there, Alan. Walk right out that side door where the Mad Apple Theater is, and that's how you'll hit Hello Kitty. So, and we're gonna walk up through the park. Looks like they replaced the sign now by the Bliss statue. Yesterday they had, it just said the Pa. Yeah, it's a real easy walk to get out to Hello Kitty. I'm telling you, you're gonna like the Hello Kitty coffee. I always get the mocha. And you got to come out here at night, walk down here and see the Bliss statue lit up at night. It is beautiful. All right, across here. Now you can go in where it says casino right here, but it takes you a little bit longer to get to the tram. So I usually just walk on the outside here to the taxi drop-off area. Yeah, it is super easy to get over to Park MGM from New York, New York. It's like I was walking past that couple right there. So I thought that they were walking into the casino entrance. So I started to slow down. They slowed down. I started to speed up. They started to speed up. So we're going to go into the lobby area here. And we're just going to walk right back towards the pool area, and that is where
Thank you, sir. We'll see you.
So this is the lobby. This is a beautiful area inside the lobby. It does smell super nice in here too. We'll talk about Park MGM on our 4-ish live stream later today. Make sure you guys are subscribed, have your notifications on. We will be at Aroma Retail doing a live stream with some people from Aroma Retail, answering all your questions about the hotel scents or any scents that are in their collections. They have over 100 different wonderful scents there. There's so many that I want. So yeah, it's a lot less confusing when you know. It's like I can almost do these walks like with my eyes closed. So we're gonna walk down this way. So we are just walking around back by the pool area, and then this will take us right out to the tram, which is right down this hallway, at the end of this hallway. Well, I think we got to make one more turn, and then we're there. But that's the pool area. Doesn't look like anybody's enjoying the pool today. And you'll see the sign, Aria, tram to Bellagio. We are going to be doing a live stream on both. I'll have one on my device and one on Jay's device. We'll do the live streams so that we can catch both crowds. Because there's some people that do not do TikTok, but or do not do YouTube. So we're going to go up the escalator here. When we reach the top of the escalator, we will be technically inside Aria. And if we go to the left, that is where we get the I'm sorry, the tram. Drew a blank there for a second. Really get turned around in the Aria? I think the Aria is a pretty easy one to get through. Venetian Palazzo does get kind of confusing. So this is the tram. So right now we are at 24 minutes to get to Bellagio. So do we want to take the tram? I think we should walk. Let's do a walk. God, it smells so good. Oh, MGM Grand is probably, no, actually, I think Caesars is the hardest property to walk through, to be honest with you. Caesars is the hardest one. MGM comes in second, and then I think the Venetian and Palazzo are third as far as getting turned around as you're walking through them. So we're gonna walk into Aria now, walk around the back way, head over to the conservatory. I'm gonna end the live stream there, and then we're gonna, I gotta get home and get everything charged up for this afternoon. Believe it or not, these gimbals do last a long time, but lately, because I've been doing a lot longer of a live stream, and I just pushed the door, yes I did. I get confused sometimes. So, still like kind of the same thing though, right? A lot of the casinos don't really like you live streaming in them, but if you're just kind of walking and not bothering anybody, they just kind of let you skate through. I think if you were going to do like a complete walkthrough, it would probably be best to maybe reach out to them, maybe, because I see some people walking around, and I'm like, how has security not come over and said anything? Because I've had security on occasion just say, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just walking through, and they've been pretty cool, but they don't really like you walking through the machine areas and showing people doing the gambling, unless it's like your own. But even then, sometimes they're a little bit touchy on that, you know. And that's my experience. Other people might have had other different experiences, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'm not sure how it all kind of works sometimes. But this is the high roller room. That is beautiful, this little backdrop here. I love the orange. This is like one of the most beautifully decorated and smelling properties on the Strip. When this opened up, this was the most luxurious property on the Strip. Everything was electronic in the rooms, you know, the blinds that would open up, all that stuff, the lighting, all that stuff. So it's one of my favorite properties. And the patisserie right here, right in front of us, they have great ice cream, gelatis, great coffee, 24 hours. And they had that cool display that we showed you guys yesterday. So this is the north lobby. We're gonna head out of here and walk across the sidewalk a little bit, and we will be pretty much at Vidara and Bellagio in a couple minutes. So we are at 27 minutes now. 27 minutes, and we're leaving the Aria. This is the north of LA. This is where you get your taxis. The ride shares are underneath of here. That's where you get your ride shares, down below here. But this is basically the first time, well, not the first time, because we had that little bit of a walk outside between Excalibur tram station and New York, and New York, and Park MGM. So total outside time, you know, under 10 minutes, which when it's 10:10 in the summertime, you kind of appreciate being able to walk indoors the whole way. There's Vidara. We got the Cosmo and Aria right behind us here, right to the side of us here. There's the tram going back from Bellagio. So I haven't seen one going to there. So maybe we did beat it.
Yeah, I got one dress that I really like.
Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally, Ken, what's going on, buddy? I accidentally swiped over and didn't notice that the chat was off the screen. Sorry about that. Funky J, 22 different properties. Aria was the nicest. I hear that. A lot of people say that. You know, a lot of people say Cosmo, but then there's a debate between people that go to Aria and Cosmo of which is better. Some people say that having that balcony at Cosmo make it just a touch better. I'm not really sure. You always run into that smell. Yeah, I guess people come out here and they use that as their little vaping or smoking area. So we are now in Vidara, Market Cafe Vidara. Much better coffee than Starbucks right next to it. Yeah, I heard Fontainebleau is not very camera friendly. Ken, 51, it was 53 when we woke up this morning. I was just trying to scroll back a little bit. I swiped to the left and didn't notice that the chat wasn't going for me. So if I missed some of your questions or comments, sorry about that. So now we are in kind of no man's land. I guess this would be more of a Cosmo because it has the same floor as Cosmo. We're on our way to Bellagio. As soon as you walk through those doors at Vidara and make a right, that takes you into the Cosmo. We're on the home stretch. Where are we at? We're at 32 minutes so far since we got in the lobby at Mandalay. Not too bad. I wonder what it takes as far as an Uber, a ride share or something. We should time that. So now we are in Bellagio. To the left is the tram, which we skipped. Tons of people coming up. Guess they're on their way next door. So we are definitely on the home stretch here, which is good because my gimbal light is fading green right now. Say hello to you guys. Hey guys. Oh wait, there is a turnaround button on this. We'll do that another time. We'll do the turnaround button. I didn't even see the reverse camera button. Home stretch now. A couple minutes. Walk down. We took that nice walk through the convention area yesterday. That was nice. Yeah, that would be it. We could do, maybe we could do something like that. I'll talk to Jay and we'll, and why does she have to take the Uber? Why can't we make her walk? Yes, so I figured out how to turn that off yesterday too. That was another hidden control. So I bought the Prism app, right? It's like $10 a month. So I could turn that off, right? Because I just kind of thought that looked cheesy, and you know, it's good to support apps that are going to help us streamers. So I paid a $10 a month subscription for that, so you can turn the watermark off, and it opens up some other options. But that was kind of buried in the settings too. So I was able to find that, and then I was able to find another setting that turned off the chat for you guys. And look, here we are. We are at the chocolate fountain, which means we are feet away from the conservatory. So as soon as we step foot into the conservatory, I think we can put our logo on the screen, and I am looking into that. One baby step at a time, Murakami. One baby step at a time. So we are going to walk right in. And we are at, I just paused it, 35 minutes, 27 seconds to get from the lobby at Mandalay to the conservatory. Now, if you were on the TikTok stream earlier, you saw how empty it was at 8 o'clock. And now you can see how much more crowded it has gotten. It gets a lot harder to walk around in here, especially when you're streaming, because you're trying to pay attention to not get into people's pictures or bump into people. So we will come back and do a live stream later when it's not that crowded here, because I actually really do need to get going. So right, we found someone to walk through. You always got to look and see when the people take down the cameras. It's like, walk, stop, walk. So it's kind of up to you guys. If you guys want to walk up, I parked up the strip a little bit today. So if you guys want to take a walk out on the strip, we can do that. Or I can end it now. So that is up to you guys. You guys want to take a walk up the strip a little more? Up around Caesars is where I parked. Let's do that. I'll keep you guys on here for a couple more minutes until we get out on the other side of the Bellagio. So we're just going to kind of walk through. This is always packed in here too, by the way. This walkway, this is the center walkway down the casino area. This is packed midnight, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. Let's walk. There we go. Let's get them hours in. Let's get them steps going. The Baccarat Bar. Yeah, you know, that's That's funny you say that, right? Because on one side you have people saying, look how empty Vegas is, and then on the other side, when you show them where people are, they say, well, that's only because you're at the Bellagio. Oh, okay, so a lot of people are at Bellagio. Who cares? You know, what's the difference? You know? So, you know, we just kind of walk around and show you guys what's going on. But, yeah, it is always really crowded there. It does make for a little bit of a tough walk. That's why I like to walk around the outside edge a lot. But I figure, you know what, I don't have to do the floor tour, you know, and, oh, there goes another little robot. I don't know if you saw that going past. But, you know, we don't have to go through all the restrictions that we had with TikTok. We can kind of just walk through and get into the shopping area. Like I said, sometimes security in here is a little bit tough. But for the most part, security in here, unless you're stopping at a machine, you know, I kind of walk at a kind of a quick pace. Anyway, but you know, they kind of just say, all right, this guy's just walking through. Some streamers I've seen stopping and, you know, showing tables and stuff. That's going to draw attention that the casinos don't want you to be live streaming unless you have their permission. So, but for the most part, MGM, I have reached out to them on email and social media a few times and have emails back saying, if you're just doing a walking through, should be no problem. So that's the rules I go by until I get told different. Now the fashion show mall yesterday, that was a little bit different. I have to look into that. I mean, I've never seen anyone say, we don't want you filming the outside of our property, but we'll see. Funky J, Planet Hollywood. The casino at Planet Hollywood is one of my favorite. Like I was saying earlier when we were at New York, lighting plays a big deal in how I like to, where I like to play. And I really like the low neon light in Planet Hollywood and New York. Planet Hollywood is actually a really nice property too. And the fact that it's attached to the Miracle Mile shops, that's a plus too. All right, so we are going to head out this way. Yeah, I mean, Bellagio's coming up on being 30 years old, right? It's what, 28 years old now, Bellagio? It opened in what, 98? Thank you for reminding everyone, Murakami. So my last plug of it, today, a little after 4, once we're all set up and ready to go and got the okay from Aroma Retail, we will be going live from their smelly bar inside their store. We'll be answering questions about the scents of the hotels and casinos out here, any of their other scents that they have. It's going to be great. Bring your questions. We have a promo code. We have some links in right there. You get 20% off with our promo code, and we are affiliates. We do make a commission on qualifying sales. There's no extra cost to you. Just want to make everyone aware of that little disclaimer. So you'll also see that when we start the live, it will say branded content or paid partnership or something like that, since there is payment and services being. Ken, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Well, Grammy, that's the nice thing. When you're out here, you can take a trip over to Aroma Retail and go to their smelly bar and smell all the different scents. No problem, Ken, no problem. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you subscribing, following us over on TikTok. So we're gonna have a live stream on here and one on our TikTok, so we can catch people that like to watch on both. Uh-oh. Guess they're going to be doing some maintenance on the Caesar fountains this morning. They have them shut down. Last time they had them shut down, them guys were in there in the afternoon cleaning them out. So very rare that you see these things totally shut down. One of my favorite spots on the Strip, though. And by the way, on our little walk from Mandalay Bay to Bellagio, we took 2,833 steps. A lot of steps were eliminated by taking the tram there. Probably would have eliminated way more. Probably another 1,000 steps if we would have took the tram from Aria to Bellagio. So this has been a really fun stream, guys. I appreciate all of you stopping in and taking this walk this morning. Did a nice walk from, where did we start? Up at the Overlook. Down to the sign, back up. Went around Mandalay. Shows you the outside of Luxor. Down to the sign, back up. And then we did the timed, how long it took us to get from the Mandalay Bay lobby to the Bellagio Conservatory. 35 minutes, not too bad of a time. We're going to compare that. We're going to look and try to see how long it would take with an Uber or a Lyft, and maybe one time we're going to do that. See who can get there faster, me or Jay. Yeah, it's been a really good morning, and we started over on TikTok this morning. Walked around the Strip a little bit doing that. Checked out the construction up there at the Hard Rock. Oh, no problem, Americom. You know that we love being out here and doing this stuff with you guys, spending our mornings on my days off doing that. You know, it's fun to get out, get your steps in, and you know, show off Vegas, because there's, you know, a lot of people that have put some wrong narrative out there about the Vegas, and you know, we try to show you that yes, there is people out here at 11 o'clock in the morning now. Maybe the middle of the summer when temperatures were already hitting the triple digits, a lot of people would stay in, go to the pool a little earlier. And now that it's cooler, people are out walking around doing touristy things during the day, just not at night. So, you know, I like to be able to show that, because a lot of people don't show that. They manipulate videos and things like that. So, and it does really Vegas no good. 25,000 steps in Vegas is super easy to do. Sometimes that's just getting the hotel lobby to your room. Let's see where we're at this morning on step-wise. Total steps. We are at 15,000. I can't show it. It's too dark. So we're at 15,000 steps. almost 16,000. I gotta turn the like my watch, it turns off like after like freaking like 5 seconds. I gotta figure out how to let that setting stay on for a little bit longer. Sometimes I hit it to show you and it turns off before I can show you. But we're at like almost 16,000 steps. Yesterday we hit just over 30,000 steps by the end of our streams and our day. So today will probably not be that far into the step count, but we'll definitely be hitting over 20. All right, so I'm gonna head back to my car now. Thank you guys for joining. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow afternoon. Not sure if we're gonna be back up here tonight, me and Jay, or if we're gonna try to do some content at home and edit some stuff. We have a very, very busy day. So I wanna thank everyone who subscribed today, who tuned in. And if you're enjoying it, make sure you subscribe and put your notifications on, because we will be on this afternoon sometime around 4 at the Aroma Retail. So make sure you guys have those notifications on. All my mods in here, thank you so much for keeping the chat going. Everyone, thank you for keeping the chat going and helping out, answering questions and everything. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.